According to the Department of Agriculture, the price of a full-sale turkey has increased by 40 cents per pound since last year, making an average turkey dinner cost around $21. Millard North basketball will put in the hard work and the determination every day to get to their one goal, which is to make state down in Lincoln. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, during the 2019-20 school year in public schools that made mental health assessments available for students, 61% of evaluations were provided at and outside of schools. In comparison, 29% were offered at schools only, and just 11% were provided outside the classroom. The additional help that Millard will be using the money for is Crisis Prevention Institute, support for students exposed to trauma, and the registered behavior technicians. From grocery stores to chain restaurants, Nebraskan residents are feeling the strain when it comes to the food costs. According to the U.S. Labor Department, grocery prices have increased by 13% over the past year. And there seems to be no end in sight as inflation has hit its highest point in 40 years at 11.2%. While customers voice their concerns, Omaha local businesses struggle to meet customer needs when they are facing challenges of their own. Patty Hankey, co-owner of BIG Meats, says that prices are increasing due to a lack of inventory.
Buy our all-natural turkeys from a Midwestern distributor. We have to order them in July for Thanksgiving, and we're not always guaranteed to get what we ordered because of that very reason right there.
According to the Department of Agriculture, the price of a full-sale turkey has increased by 40 cents per pound since last year, making an average turkey dinner cost around $21. Omaha resident Todd Pernicek says that price of feeding his family of 4 has drastically increased.
It's definitely costing a lot more money this year. I think the meal package that we bought at Big Mama's was certainly more expensive than we've done in the past.
So go ahead and eat your stuffing and pumpkin pie this Thanksgiving. You just might have to go light on the turkey. For the Omaha News, I'm David Fessner. Millard North boys basketball team is coming off back-to-back state titles, but the reigning champions face uncertainty of a new head coach and some fresh players. The Mustangs are amping up and ready for the season. Mike Etzmiller is the new head coach. He serves as the assistant coach for 13 years under the previous head coach Tim Cannon. Etzmiller says he's seen multiple players advance to Division I competition and says a trend he hopes to continue.
We definitely have talented players. I don't know where they'll go, but I feel like we're a deep team that works hard every day. We're doing the little things right now in open gyms and skill workouts to continue to improve.
The boys basketball team has had nothing but success, appearing in 3 consecutive state tournaments and winning Class A 2 out of the last 3 years. Millard North basketball will put in the hard work and the determination every day to get to their one goal, which is to make state down in Lincoln. After leaving as the athletic director at Platt Smith Schools, new athletic director Keith Malley says he is optimistic about Etzmiller as the new head coach.
He'll be successful, from the get-go because he is the type of guy that doesn't want to fail.
One of the biggest obstacles for the Mustangs is having new faces don the blue and white. For the Omaha News, I'm David Fessner. More than 1/3 of high schoolers say their mental health is suffering since the pandemic forced them to learn remotely rather than in the classroom. According to a recent Pew Research study, gay, lesbian, or bisexual students are more likely than their heterosexual counterparts to suffer from mental health stresses. In Nebraska, school administrators are hoping to combat these numbers after the state was awarded $546 million. Nebraska districts are using this money to hire more mental health specialists, expand social and emotional learning curriculum. The counselor at Millard North, Jody Turkelson, says that every state retrieved the COVID-19 money and filtered through the schools and used it how they saw best.
The money that school districts got depended a lot on the makeup of their school districts as far as whether it was inner city or more of a rural setting.
The additional help that Millard will be using the money for is Crisis Prevention Institute, support for students exposed to trauma, and the registered behavior technicians. Math teacher at Millard North, Eric Welty, says it was hard on a day-to-day seeing the emotional effect on students, and this is how Welty helps students out in the classroom.
Tell them that I'm there to help them and that I'm going to be patient with them, and that pretty much sums it up.
Welty says that the next step after helping the student out is either going to an admin or a counselor. For the Omaha News, I'm David Festner.